Hi, Matt here. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. Today is Technical Tuesday, and I want to go over some charts, talk about a few things, and highlight a couple of features in my new Discord that you might find appealing. So, what am I looking for right now? This is the crypto total market cap. I like to start with this because it kind of shows the whole picture of what's going on, and we can look at the numbers. So, right now, the market is flirting with 1 trillion market cap, less than a trillion market cap. And it looks to me like, so I have this move as a 1, 2, 3, 4, not completed 4, and then a 5 eventually is going to play out. That's the way Elliott wave works. So right now, I'm looking at this as a corrective move. And whether this is an A, a B, and a C, you can argue it's a W, X, and a Y. Whatever it is, it's a corrective move. And right now, I'm thinking that we can find some support in here. And from there, we can see the price move up into this region, 1.45, 1.95 trillion market cap. And then from there, we can see the market move back down, and that will come right into, excuse me, right into this region down here around that 700 to 600 billion dollar market cap. Now, if I've talked about this before, if price comes below the 405 billion dollar market cap, so if price just drops and comes below that number, something else is playing out than what you're seeing right now on the chart. These are my thoughts. This is what I'm seeing at the moment. But of course, if that were to occur, something else would be happening. I want to point that out just because we need to know where we are. Our prediction has higher probability and where our prediction has lower probability, because really when you're analyzing charts there is no right or wrong. Those terms are terrible terms to use. It's either a higher probability or lower probability. I've been in the centralized trading world for many decades, and now coming over to crypto, I can use my experience and hopefully educate some, anybody out there. I want to talk about my Discord really quickly, just because I do feel that it is kind of interesting. So a lot of these, like this channel here, pre-min analysis, post-min analysis, the alpha analysis, the crypto trading, and the stock trading is coming soon. I haven't quite added to that part of the channel yet, but those channels are going to be private. So whenever the Discord does open, we start whitelisting OGing people, they're going to be able to access those private channels. And then after we mint, those private channels are now going to be, if you hold an NFT, you have access to those private channels. So that's that. I wanted to talk about a trade that I did earlier on Ethereum. If this will even come up, it's taking a little while, which is terrible from a video here. But if I scroll up here, I talked about Ethereum, broke out into a larger resistance. It can roll over from here. Keep an eye on those numbers. If it does roll over, those numbers are right down here, close to this blue line, a little bit above the blue line right in here. But this is where I was shorting. So I highlighted that. Price came up to it and rolled over. And then I go down here. Price is right here as I'm talking. Ethereum dropped very nicely. There's nothing wrong with taking partial profits because it's a bit over a 3.5 to 1 reward to risk. If you're not familiar with that terminology, reward to risk. So like if I'm going for a 3 reward, and for every 3 reward, I'm risking 1, that's a pretty good reward to risk. So that means I can fail twice and succeed once and still make profit, is basically what that means. So a 3.5 to 1 reward to risk, you can take partial profits on that. Ethereum has since made lower lows down here, and that's a 4.65 to 1 reward to risk on that remainder. So that's pretty good. I said stop should be in profit and our target is still a lower move on this move. And that's exactly what happened. I'm going to show Ethereum really quickly where it is right now, because I talked about it earlier today. So it's only fair that I talk about where it is right now. If the charts will load, they're taking their time, which is totally fine. Let me zoom out on this other way. All right, let's come up here. And this is where the chart is at the moment. And this was my short. You can see I still have the numbers up here. So I shorted there. You can see this was my target right here. And it has actually exceeded the target a little bit. So what am I looking for now? I'm looking for the same thing that I was looking for with the total market cap with Ethereum now. So down here, I'm looking for support. So on a move like this, I look for supportive things and then I look for support. So I have a few areas that I'm looking for, but I'm waiting for price to show me that is actually supporting. So anywhere in here would be totally fine. 1500, 1510, 1475. So anywhere in there, 1475 to 1510 could be support here on the short term. So that's, really what I'm looking for on Ethereum short term. Bitcoin broke down with Ethereum, but Bitcoin was weaker. So Bitcoin made a new low on the larger move, whereas Ethereum is still over that low of the larger move. So Bitcoin broke down here, which is totally fine. That's why I'm not trying to trade Bitcoin right now, because the pattern is a little bit ugly. And you can see that here with Bitcoin. We were shorting this move here, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it looks like this just is an extension of this whole move here, but it is making another low. It's actually showing a lot of weakness here, and because of that, really just kind of have to wait for something to happen. So that's why I'm really not trading Bitcoin right now. Let me go out to the daily chart, because that is actually going to be a little more interesting. And I think that's what I'm going to do with these videos here on YouTube, is mostly stick to the daily charts and go more to the hourly on the Discord. And on the Discord, I'll show what I'm looking for daily, whereas on YouTube, I do a weekly segment, of which I call Technical Tuesday. This is a great name, I think. Let me know. Do you think it's a good name? Would you give it a different name? And do you enjoy the analysis? Let me know. Appreciate your thoughts. That's why I always ask, put a like or a dislike on the video. Either way, I just want some feedback. So it's better than talking to yourself. So anyway, Bitcoin, same thing with the overall market. 1, 2, 3, 4 is not completed yet. I still think if the total market cap and Ethereum both are holding above the lows, they can push up a little and then back down. Bitcoin can do the same thing, but it's making a low. So it can make a low and then shoot up. Let me get rid of these lines on the chart here. And remove. And you can see this is making a low over here, which is fine. Not quite a low actually, but it's very, very close. So looking for Bitcoin to do that same thing. Let me talk about Cardano, because Cardano is interesting. Cardano actually pushed up a lot and now it's going back down. So you can see that here. Cardano pushed up fairly well. I do have a lot of lines on the chart here, so I'm going to get rid of a bunch of them, just because I don't really need them. They're just making it more difficult to see things. Let's remove that. remove that one there. And maybe one more. All right. That should be good enough. Let me zoom in a little bit. All right. So with Cardano, I'm thinking that this move is complete right now. So with this move being complete, it means now ideally price would support over 39 cents or 39.1 cents. I'm thinking, price can very easily come down 30 cents. I've been looking for 30, 35 cents. I can come down 25 cents. I wouldn't want it to see it come down below that 22-cent mark, but I'm thinking that 30, 35 cents, that's a good area to see price. Let me get rid of this too, because this is kind of annoying me. All right. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking is somewhere down here is where we can see price. That 30, 35 cents looks very, very good. So that's where I'm at right now. If I zoom in a little bit with price, you can see that, it has moved up, it's moving back down, and it's just kind of choppy right now. So until it does something, all we can do is really just watch it and wait. So let's next go to Matic. And that's one thing with using a free charting service. You have a lot of pop-ups, but nobody trades on TradingView. Maybe some people do. I actually know a guy that does. But and I'm not going to trade on this thing. But anyway, with Matic is very interesting because with Matic, and Matic, I actually do want to go down to the hourly chart, but I'm looking at this as being complete, which means this is a corrective move down. This move up will probably get another leg down eventually. But I want to go to the hourly just because it is very interesting. And I think that we can definitely talk about a couple things here. So apparently the wrong way. Let's zoom in a little bit. All right, here we are with Matic. So let's move up. I thought all along it was a little suspect and it was a corrective move. Usually with trading, with analyzing charts, less is more. So whatever's the most obvious to you is most likely what is going on. Now, maybe if you're new, if you aren't good at analysis, if you just learned analysis, then maybe that's not a good thing to go by. But if you've been analyzing charts for a long period of time, you've been trading for a long period of time, then usually whatever's obvious is what you look for. As humans, we like to control things. Just go talk to anybody who is another human, and you'll see they like to control things. Talk to most managers out there. Talk to uh, anybody in a leadership position, and they usually do like to control some aspect of something, whether it is the place they work at, it's themselves, schedules, whatever it is. But as humans, we like to control things, and because of that, whenever we're analyzing charts, a lot of times that gets in the way. And you'll see a lot of prominent YouTubers out there doing chart analysis, and they're not doing it correctly. I'm the type of person, I believe that a rising tide lifts all boats. We all help each other out. So I don't like to name names and like pick on people. We can do that, just two people talking, but not when you're talking to many, many people. That's ridiculous. But anyway, not to get on too much of a tangent, this move up was definitely a suspect move. This move up was pretty good. And now we're getting this corrective structure, and we should see price come back down here And why is this important? Because now, price comes down that 72 to 65 cent mark. What happens? Does it find that support, which I think it can, and push up? And it'll probably do so in a corrective manner. Or, does it just start breaking levels? And that's what I really am curious what's going to happen with Matic. Is it going to come down here? Is it going to break that level? Is it not going to? So I'm keeping a close eye on Matic right now, just to see what is likely to happen. I'm a fan of it long term, but long term and short term, we can't really mix the two. Like there's a lot of people out there that love XRP, and that's fine. It has very interesting concepts, and yes, it is something that can really bolster things around them. It can really save money. It can do all this stuff, but in the short term, why would you want to own it? It's not going anywhere. But it does have some good potential long term. So you can't really mix those two, and a lot of people do. But anyway, I wanted to get on little tangents as I'm doing this. I think people enjoy that. So let me know if you do. Hit the comment section. Let me know. I want to go to Solana next. Get ahead of myself. All right, so now Solana on the daily chart, and Solana is definitely interesting. And let me zoom out on this a little bit. So with Solana, I talked about this a lot down here. Let me get rid of all these letters here, because we know what's going on. We don't really have to look at. Okay, now we have a very clean chart. So when it came down here, I was looking at that 25-22 level. It really needed to support there. And if it broke, I thought it was going straight down under $10. Just quick. Well, it supported there. So it had to support. It did support. Now what is going to happen? Well, Solana is weak. So Bitcoin's the weakest. Solana is probably the second weakest. And Ethereum is the least weakest. And right now, Cardano is right along with it. But that's how I see it right now. So Solana, I'm thinking if everything happens the way I'm thinking it's going to happen, then this can find support here, and then it can push back up here. And then it can come down again. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Now, if Solana is going to do something different, it should come down here and it should break this low. I'm going to call it $26. Comes down and breaks 26. And then 22.5 is the level I was actually trying to talk about. If it breaks 22.5 from there, it can get very weak. However, it looks to me like there's a good chance it does support here and then push up a little bit. What does that look like? It could be 52, 53. It could be 80. Whatever it is, I think it's going to be a short-lived rally. Pun intended there, because of short. All right, bad joke. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is that it does shoot up a little bit, correct, and then have a nice move down. If it breaks here, though, keep an eye on that low. That low is going to be very important. If it breaks, 22.5 is crucial to support. And if it breaks that, it can really start breaking down. So that's what I'm watching with Solana right now. I'm just sitting here waiting to see where it's going to go. If it drops below $10, taking a flyer on it's not the worst idea in the world. Just because, even though Solana is, I give it a lot of flack because it's a very centralized cryptocurrency, kind of an oxymoron. A lot of VC funding, they rushed technology, they rushed their tech, but it's going to go back up because there's so much money behind it. And if it does drop down, it's going to eventually become a very, very good deal. So, and there's a lot of good deals out there, but let's go to Binance next. And Binance, I really do like Binance. I like the chain. I like the token here, the Binance Smart Chain token. So I'm a fan. And Binance is actually pretty strong. It's actually stronger than Ethereum right now. And what am I looking for? Well, I'm looking just like Bitcoin, just like Ethereum. I'm thinking that this is a 1, 2, 3 up, finishing off on a 4, and then we'll eventually go to a 5. Now, 5 is not going to be way up here. I just threw 5 up here. Most likely, 3 came in at 728, which means 5 is probably going to be right around here. 1200 to 2000, most likely, something like that. Could be slightly higher, 3000. Definitely not going to be 8000. I kind of just threw it up there. So don't take that literally. It's probably going to be up here. So right now, if this is a WX and a Y, then I'm thinking this will find support somewhere around here, push up a little bit more, maybe around that 400, 430 level. And then from there, it can come down again, probably 150, 120, maybe slightly lower, but that's where it should find that support. And that would be the end of this fourth wave. And we can see it go up to that 11 to 2000 range. So this will probably take good 6 months, maybe more. But, that's where we're at right now. We're in a market that is just ugly and it's not really going anywhere. But that's really what I'm thinking, is something like that is going to play out. So now let's go to XRP. XRP is very ugly, and it has been for many, many years. But people like XRP, so I'm going to talk about it. And let me zoom out here, and this is where we're at. So right now, I'm seeing this as an A wave up, a B wave down, followed by an eventual, and actually this is a WXY. I actually talked about this last time. So yeah, the charting numbers, letters should be here. That would make more sense. This is a W, so it would be an X. And your Y would be somewhere up here. So that's what we would be looking for. So the only thing that could be different, and if everything's going to play out the way I think it's going to play out, XRP should go the same way. So right now, XRP it's moving ugly and choppy, but it's also moving the same way as other cryptos are. Let me get rid of this right here. And, we see it moved up here. It had a nice move down, just like, Ethereum just moved down. Bitcoin just moved down. Cardano just moved down. Very nice move down. So now what happens? Well, if it finds support, it's going to find support right in here. So we'll say 29 to 31 cents. Somewhere in there should find that support. Now, if it does find support, it should push up a little bit, and that 45 to 60 cent level, what I'm looking for, possibly a little bit higher. But because it is so ugly right now, I don't think it would go super high. I think it would be a little more choppy and just move up and down in a range. So with XRP, I'm a little less likely to call out levels, just because XRP it's just hideous. I mean, there's nothing else you can say. It's been very choppy. You could trade it every now and then, yeah, because it's going to move with the market, but also it's going to be ugly. So that's what I'm looking for XRP. There's a couple different things that can happen. So it can come down here and break this low, which would make that the X wave and then come up. I've talked about that before. Most likely, it's going to not do that right now. Maybe in a few months, but not right now. So I think right now there's a very good chance it supports and pushes up a little bit in a very choppy manner. And that 45-60 cent range is probably where it's going to. And then from there, we can look for another move down. And that's the move that could possibly take us to a new low. But it should definitely take us under 20 cents. And if you want to get into XRP, that would be your time there, because you're getting in at a pretty decent price. And, at that price, you probably won't have to hold it forever, because, if the bull market's coming back in about, 6 months or whatever, once this does start moving down, it should be, 3 months down the road, maybe something like that. And that will give you a good deal. And I'm not doing time analysis here on the chart. You can see me not doing that. So these times are more esoteric. I'm just kind of pulling them out of the air, but it makes sense to me. The times aren't going to change by that much. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. So if you like the video, do a thumbs up. If not, thumbs down. Either way, thanks for the feedback. Also, if you have any suggestions, any coins that I haven't talked about that you want me to talk about, comment section below. And of course, if you want to check out the Discord description, you can check that out. And, it is very new. I haven't really even marketed it yet. I've just talked about it a couple times on this channel. So, OG spots are definitely available. So with that, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you around the crypto markets. Take care.